everyone, welcome to hashtag Svero Chat, 10 questions with Svero Stars. And today we have our special guest, Srija Svero, who recently graduated from Azim Premji University, Bangalore. And today we have Srija Svero with us to talk about MA Development course that she recently finished from Azim Premji University, Bangalore, and to share more details with us about the program and about her experiences and challenges. So can't wait to talk to Srija Svero Akka. Hi Akka, how are things going?
Hi Madhuri, hi everyone. I'm good. Of course, we're all in Corona crisis right now. It's going a bit tough, but yeah, I mean, working on it. So yeah.
Yeah. That's great, Akka. So, like as we all know, Srija Akka has also studied her, from fifth standard to, intermediate in social welfare institutions. So, it'll be good if you just give a sort of introduction about, where you're from, where you're currently living, and what Svero schools you're from, so that viewers can understand your Svero school's history.
Okay. So first of all, thank you Madhuri for inviting me here today. And I think, and also thanks for your introduction also. So before I talk about anything, I think I should really, I mean, the question that you asked, where I studied actually. So I think there are two major luck life. One is me going from a Telugu medium private school to medium social welfare school, which is in Mallapur. So I studied there till my and then I got into Marikonda Social Welfare School. I think another major shift in my life took place, which is getting into Azim Premji University. So yeah, I think we're gonna talk about it more in the further chat.
Yes, that's great, Akka. So, where are you currently placed at, and how is the whole
Yeah.
COVID situation going on
So, yeah, so I hail from a place called Dharmaram in Peddapalli district of Telangana.
there?
So here, I- I think it's my first time that I stayed at home for this long since my fifth standard, and it feels tough. But what to do? We have to be here now, and so yeah, I'm reading some stuff, and then yeah, just passing out my time with all the books and few articles and exercising and all of that. And Corona, yeah, it's here also, but yeah, I'm staying safe at home.
Yeah, it's good to hear that you're keeping yourself busy and reading books, etc. That's a good thing. And so generally, Akka, so the whole point of the interview is to basically put forward, the MA development program that you just went through and graduated from Azim Premji University. And it will be very, very good if you talk about the program and as recently we've done summer undergrad research fellowship, which is a SURF program
Yeah,
for degree college women, and we've also come across how degree college women are very much interested in applying to Azim Premji University master's programs, be it education, be it development in public policy. So I thought it'd be a good platform. I mean, you as a mentor of this SURF as well. So I thought it'd be good if you also speak about the program and tell your story, your experiences, your challenges, and just how you got in, and what is the process that you've gone through, and what do you recommend to people. So I thought in that sense it will be a very good process. So starting on with that, could you please tell us what is the process that you have gone through to get into MA development program at Azim Premji University?
okay. So yeah, so the process to get into AP. So just excuse me, I would be saying that AP is University because we got used to say it like that. So yeah, so the process to get into APU is like you have an entrance exam, how you have it for other colleges. And like once you get qualified in that exam, you will be called for an interview. And like for us, the students going from here, interview sounds like really scary, and also it feels very stressful. But so this interview, I mean, applying for Azim Premji University, you basically don't need any specialization in social. For example, I personally have done my bachelor's in biology, and now for MI development and I got into it. So you really don't need any sociological background to get into APU. So you have a common entrance exam, and then is basically depends on the questions, like why you want to get into a course like this, because so and also yeah, so for us, we really don't need to be scared with our written skills or anything, because if you have a clear idea of what you already know, then it really helps so much. You have to present yourself conscious and clear. So English, of course, we all know. Studying in social welfare schools, we speak English like anything these days. All of us, all the swearos. So English is not a problem for that. In the interview, I'm specifically talking about the interview. It's not a problem. It's just that how clear are you about your thoughts to get into MA in development, and also what is development according to you actually. So, and also, for example, if you have done a science course in your bachelor's, and how aware are you about the environmental effects, or how does your thoughts help to achieve something in environmental growth, so something like that. So your thoughts and what you already know about few things, you just have to be clear about all of that, and then it would actually create a really good opinion for the interviewers that they are interviewing you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Akka, because like you're saying, you don't have to be from a particular background to pursue liberal arts courses at Azim Premji University. But rather, for example, even if you're from a science background, you have to have a notion of what development is, but not necessarily
Yeah.
have a background in social sciences, right? That's your point. Yeah, and I think that's very important to keep in mind, because APU in itself is a very liberal arts setup, so which means you don't have to have a particular background to pursue something, but it's all round development, if we can say that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I really like MN development program is because it, it doesn't only give you a theoretical knowledge on the concepts that you'll be learning, but also it gives a field exposure at the grassroots levels. What you because we have something called field immersion in the first semester, and especially like you will be going for you'll be going for holidays only in the first semester, and other 2 semesters for you will be on the field. So semester holidays, not the whole semester. So you will be we have a field immersion every semester where you actually get to go a different state. People will be in the same state. So they take different parts of India, and they'll divide us into the groups. The development team, they'll divide us into the groups, and then they'll send us to a place where we actually have to stay there for around 15 to 20 days, and then you understand the field exposure. So mostly they'll send us to non-governmental organizations where we are working majorly on the social issues. Again, we are talking about health, education, poverty, and yeah, so few things like that. So how are they working? How do they run their NGOs? And how do they reach out to the people? How comfortable are the people are with the organizations? And what are they actually get to access from the organization? So all of these things that you get to learn in your field immersion. So this will be a wonderful experience for you in the beginning, and you have to come back and you have to reflect on your field immersion and write a report about it. And then in the second semester you have something called summer internship, which is for I think, yeah, 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks summer internship, where you'll be sent to a non-governmental organization. This time you can choose your own organization. I mean, where actually you want to go. If you want to go individually, you can go individually, and if you want to go in a group, you can go in a group. And this is also a complete time that you have to understand the NGO, and also you have to select a topic. I mean, you have to choose a topic and work on it. Only the topic related to the field. So I went to for my field immersion, I went to Maharashtra to an organization called Ami Amsha Arogya Sati, which is working on health. my summer internship, I went to an organization called Art Mitigation Project. So that project, they're working on organic farming. So I worked on that. And again, we have a field project in the third semester. This is also, so here you have to select your own topic and your own location. So now it's completely up to you. You have to select your own topic and then a place where you actually want to work. So you're given a mentor. So because we have a faculty from different streams, right? There are a few faculty works on social movements, a few faculty works on environment, climate changes, waste, water, and all of that. So depending on your topic pertaining to what subject it is, so then you'll be given a mentor. So you'll have to work with that mentor, and you have to maintain a field journal and all of that, and you have to make a poster of your winter fair project and present it to the people who are coming to look at your poster for one whole day. So, and again, you get to write report. There are many people who are publishing their reports from the Winterfield projects and summer internships and all of that.
Yes.
So, and also to do all this research and field projects and all of that, you really need a background in the research. So this course, MA in Development course, will teach you of the research methods. What are the ethics you have to follow in research? How do you actually collect the data? How do you go and interview someone? How do you take permissions from people? So all these things they'll teach us and send us to the field, and also how do you even write a report? So it's not that you just go to a field and come back and write a report in your own way. No, it's not that. They'll teach you how to write that report also.
Yes.
And so yeah, that's why I mean I really love about APU is there's so much field work even during the semester also. If you're working on any topic, you have to go to you have to cover different places in the city also. You go to some marketplaces, and some people go to slums and and understand the place and all of that. And we will be writing the report again. So yeah, there are a lot more things that
Yeah.
involved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So from your response, what I can see is that field component is the biggest part of the whole image development program, the field immersion. And it's a very good thing
Yeah.
because now the idea of learning in this present education system, and I think that's how we learn, right? Like we go onto the field, some practical knowledge rather than developing theoretical models sitting at a
Yeah.
place. And I think that's the whole point of learning. And APU in itself is a very application based, and something that's very much closely related to the practical world. That's how we learn. And I think the way APU is designed itself for every course, and especially for MA development, like you're saying, it's very interesting to pursue a course like that if you're really interested in the pressing issues of development outside today, right? Be it climate, be it health, be it nutrition, be it food, be it education, employment, etc., right? And like you're also saying how you choose a topic and you go work in the organizations that more or less covered your interests and which organizations you worked with and what kind of opportunities do you get. So that's very interesting to hear, Akka. And so like now here, like following up on that, could you please also tell the audience who are watching right now who are definitely APUPG aspirants, um, could you build on what kind of career paths do you have after MA development course for a person?
So yeah, so career paths that it's highly impossible that you'll be going out without a job from APU.
Okay.
Of course, I mean make you to get some job. So there's something called placement cell at APU,
Hmm.
uh, who call the organizations to college.
Mhm.
And so there are non-governmental organizations, semi-governmental organizations, private organizations. So all of these organizations which are working on livelihoods,
Mhm.
waste, water, sanitation, agriculture, organic farming, basically. And so any of the social issues that they're working on, I mean any of the social issues of an organization which is working on, so they'll be coming to the college. And you have the last fourth semester, from the mid of a fourth semester is completely for your placements.
Okay.
Okay, I mean completely in the sense we will be having classes and assignments, but the workload will be little less, and different interviews, and yeah, so there will be n number of opportunities that are coming to APU. So I got into two organizations from APU. So one is Karnataka State Livelihood Rural Program. So that I got, which is working on livelihood and creating employment for the people who lives in the tribal areas. And another is Naidu Sports Village. So that also I got into, and I'm still waiting for this corona to get over, and I'll be joining it. I think organizations like this would come to, come to interview, and you can apply for it. So there'll be different phases of interviews, and then you get selected to it. But yeah, you will be having a job for sure at the end of the semester. If you want to go for a job, if you want to continue your studies, yes, they would help you with that also. If you want to go for a PhD, what are the best colleges for it? What are the opportunities for it? So all of this, they will take care of it at the end of the semester. But all you need to get into a job is that a consciousness of what you're learning throughout the semesters. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, Akka. And first of all, I have to congratulate you on getting two positions after finishing your degree program. That's excellent. Yeah. So now I think we also got an idea of what kind of jobs do you get in the development sector after pursuing MA development in Azim Premji University. Thanks for that, Akka.
Thing that I really want to tell is that we go from here, like from our schools, are complete. We are different. That's all. Like when we go initially to them, we feel that we are very different. Like we don't have, we feel that we don't have good clothes to wear. They're very so. I mean, they look so modern, nice, fair, and all of that. And but then these are all the things that you really don't need to be worried, because there are many people. Uh, you know there are many people in a same way, and there's nobody who gonna point out to you saying that, oh, you're wearing this kind of a dress. No, it's a very liberal I mean, it's not only about the clothes, but even about your opinion also. It's very liberal on coming on that part, and you're very free to say what you want to say. You really don't need to be scared about that. So I feel that's a very a great thing for people, like anybody who's going to APO.
Yes, Akka. Yes,
Yeah.
Akka. So yeah, some points that you're pointing out, such as classrooms being very interactive, and your thoughts but not language that matters, and this whole argument about how we come out from social welfare institutions where we've been studying all our lives, and you have a certain kind of environment and getting into like elite universities. So you're saying we don't have to be that conscious about how we look or how we maintain ourselves when we get into these kinds of universities. And I think it always surprises me how these things everybody has to face one or the other point in their life, right? For example, you know universities in itself are very diverse, people coming from different academic and social backgrounds and cultural backgrounds, financial backgrounds. So when all these factors are there, people come from different places, be in one place and try to learn in that diverse community. But I think the whole inner idea of facing different problems when it comes to social and cultural capital, because people, I mean, it's true that people who come from marginalized backgrounds, underprivileged backgrounds, do have very, very less social and cultural capital, right? It is imagined. So yeah, I mean, I think we should definitely not deny how it's going to be very difficult. Um, as you were saying, as a person to just come out of social welfare institutions and mingle with people from different kinds of backgrounds. But it's good that APU is giving that, friendly environment where you can cope up with things. But I think at a personal level, this is something I think we need to have a discussion about, right? Like how to cope up with the whole idea, because I'm sure you've also had experiences, like I've also had experiences when we first entered Azim Premji University, right? The UG program. And I think all of us do have a lot to share when it comes to mingling with the diverse environment, mingling with the whole elite culture that's already been there in these popular universities. Yeah, that's a very interesting point that you put forward.
Also because I mean, you go from a place like this, and then also to make you get involved with everybody, there are group discussions in the classroom, and there are different clubs outside. I mean, like if you have a thought, you can apply for a club. I mean, even we have what are Savitri Ambedkar club at ATU, which Hemant was talking about last time. So
Yes.
all of these clubs, and also I was part of a peer supporters group. I mean, I was coordinating the whole. To me, it was really tough for me to, actually be a coordinator for a team. But then, somehow I really, made an attempt to do it. So it's all because you have that confidence inside, but then sometimes things stops you because of the environment around you, because you see someone you see someone being superior to you, but they're not actually superior. You have really amazing skills than them, because I mean that self confidence you should have. I mean, one should have. I think that's one thing that made me to make an attempt to be a peer supporters coordinators. And also, this team is mostly works on mental health. So we have been talking to the students who came from social welfare schools, and also the states who are coming from the government schools. We've been talking to them about how this experience feels to them. There are many students who feel very stressed about just to be being in this place, right? Because it's very new, and they feel the environment itself is very dominating, and you need to speak so much of English, otherwise you will not be considered. So these are the few things that are there in their mind. So we were kind of talking to those people with our team. And also, but actually, how do you actually approach all of them? Because they come to you, talk to you about it, and like what do they actually feel about the college and all of that. So we kind of increased our visibility at campus to say that yeah, we are here. So this peer supporters team has been continuing since many years. I mean, since I think 5 years. So we would increase our visibility to tell them that yeah, we are here to talk to you. We are not going to be judgmental. We are not going to be suggest you something to just get out of it, but we are ready to listen to you. So listening to someone is very important at that moment. I feel to anyone for that matter, you just need a person to listen to them.
Yes.
This is one thing that we could figure out for the freshers who are coming into APU. Even I mean that's going to be continued, and I'm letting you guys know about this because you don't need to be scared about about the people that you really you will not have anybody to talk to someone or anything. No, there are people to listen to you also. So like if you're mentally not strong, there are people, there are counselors. So and yeah, there are peer supporters to talk to, so they're ready to listen to you. If you think that there's nobody, like if you really think that, oh, I mean, I'm going to be all alone, I mean there's nobody to listen to me or to share my experiences and feelings at APU. No, I mean there are people to listen to that also.
Yes, Saka. I mean, I have to definitely thank you for, especially for bringing this up, because it's always very disturbing for me when I listen to stuff like this, because the whole idea of mental health, right? I mean, we don't talk about it
Yeah,
at all. And
yeah,
so you were saying how, just having a person to listen to what kind of stuff that you're going through, just generally at a academic level or a personal level or whatever, coming to institutions like that, APU is a very great help. And like as you were saying, APU definitely has an environment where they're ready to support you in whatever way they can. And the other point about the whole idea of baggage that we get with, right? So I think we should definitely not deny the fact that coming from, a certain kind of background or certain kind of institutions, we'll always have that thoughts in our head at the back of our head. We'll always be having thoughts about, okay, maybe I was not this, maybe I'm not, good enough for this whole setup, maybe this, maybe that. Okay, people say things, people say that I am fine and I'm going on par with them, but maybe not. I might have to change something at my own level. Always constantly questioning yourself, and this is the human nature, no? So we can't do anything, and all these things, I think we should definitely need to identify and work on that. And it's brilliant how APU is creating a space like that, where
Yeah.
they are telling you how to cope up with all these things. But I think this is the first time on this platform, on Zero Chat, who someone really talked about mental health issues, because these are something that needs to be addressed, that needs to be put forward, right? Because this is definitely something that everybody has to go through, everybody does go through. And this is all relatable stuff, right? Because everybody will definitely have a story to say when it comes to how much just this the idea of how much pressure that they have gone through to get along with the academics, both at social and personal level. Yes, Akka. So that's amazing to hear that from you. And so yeah, on a final note, like, do you want to give any message to all the degree college Swero women aspirants who are trying to apply to Azim Premji University MA Development Program?
APU admissions, you can send me an email. I can attach my mail ID in the description box. They can mail
Yes,
me
Akka.
anytime.
I can attach the mail
Respond.
ID.
Not to yeah, I'll respond.
Yes.
Also, there are our Sveros also there. I mean, who had gone from our schools to APU. So if you have any doubts, you can talk to them, talk to other people. So there are people for us. Even if there are no people for us, we can be independent. We can, because the campus environment and also the college will make you learn about yourself and also be independent on yourself. And one more thing, that you should get to read so much. So start getting into the habit of reading and writing, because that's going to be a major thing at APU. If you really hate reading, no, this is not a place for you. I'm sorry to say, but yeah, you should like reading. I mean, you should love reading. At least you should get adjusted with reading so many articles, because before each and every class, you have to read some 40 pages of reading and go to the class. Otherwise, there's no point of sitting in a classroom. So that's how it works. So you get to read so many articles and all of that. And also, please be aware of the present social issues that are happening in our country. Like, if you're going for an interview, they will definitely ask you what you actually know about the country, what are the issues of the country. If you really don't know about that, how would you actually be a development practitioner to make some alternatives for a for an issue? So how would you actually intervene into a situation if you're really not aware of it?
Yes.
So try and being updated about try and be updated about the news and major events that are happening. So all of this.
Very much, Akka. Thanks for your time. It's really great to have you here. Your words are really, really important for all the women and the audience out there who are listening. Um, yeah, so on that note,
And yeah, thank you so much, Madhuri. I think you're doing a wonderful job. And yeah, like, of course, you have been increasing your visibility in our Sweros community, and I hope it continues. And then, yeah, I'm very happy to see you like this here. I mean, of course, you're also having so many other works, but you're contributing. I mean, you're contributing for something like this. I'm really happy about it. And yeah, looking forward to see many more videos with few Sweros. All the best, Madhuri.
thanks, Akka. Thanks for your kind words, much needed words. Thank you. Yeah, so on that note, let's say signing off to hashtag Sverochat 10 questions with Sverostas. It's Srija Svero. Jai Bhim, Jai Sveros.
Yeah. Bye.